Turn to page 7 of the Kurukulla prayer book, please. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha. Until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha. Until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds. Winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path of liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms atom, all aspects. With supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash, a lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure, white heap, curd like cloud, O Tsongkhapa, Dharma's omniscient king, Pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. Feel for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunning mundane concerns, made life essence-full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable Gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Tsongkhapa essential teaching specially shine forever. Mig say wei te chen rei zig three me can pei wang po jam pel yang du pung ma lu jom se sang wei tak gang chen ke pe su gen Tsongkhapa lop sang tra pe zab la so wa deb. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, that is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance and so forth up to no aging and death and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times, by relying upon the perfection of wisdom, become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra, the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra, the perfection of wisdom, is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasongate bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the hosts of the three places Dakinis. Tayata om gate gate peragate perasongate bodhisoha. Through the power of truth of the exalted three jewels speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, shante kurie soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, freed from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here right now. Ground perfume, anointed flowers, strewn may rue for lands, sun and moon adorned, seen as Buddha filled and offered. Thus may all sentient beings enjoy pure lands. Chetsum lama dampa ginam kicher Chongde Songdi Choma, Jangdu Padu Dagdu Kapsuchi, Dagi Chonyen Gepe Sonam Ki, Drola Penchu Sange Drupa Sho. Chongde Songi Chongna La, Jagdu Padu Dagdu Kapsuchi, Dagi Chonyen Gepe Sonam Ki, Drola Penchu Sange Drupa Sho. Chongde Songi Chongna La, Jagdu Padu Dagdu Kapsuchi, Dagi Chonyen Gepe Sonam Ki, Drola Penchir Sange Drupa Sho.
Good morning, everyone. Today people didn't know we changed the date, time. The most serious ones know. And they know, yeah, it's 10 o'clock, then they didn't change. Anyway, it's wonderful to get an opportunity to learn Buddha, Dharma, Sangha about Buddhism. Therefore, in order to practice, we need to learn. And in order to learn, we need to also hear. Therefore, study is very important to any time, any kind, right? Any kind. Study is very important to whatever we do. Therefore, basically, it's not enough study just only we study Sunday 2 hours. It doesn't enough. Because if you go to school, it's not enough to study a couple hours in school. You have to come back home, do homework, like that. Therefore, usually, any time you have time to study, it's very important. Then study, then thinking, then checking, it's true or not, it's a walk or not just Buddha say, not just teacher say, not just book say, just check it's true or not, right? Therefore, usually we think, okay, I will do practice or study. Next time, maybe when I have more time, I will do that. But if we like that, we have never ever time. And always we have something to just, the most you like commitment, like, okay, it's very good. Otherwise, if you have time, do that. If not, something else. Then 10 doesn't give permission us. We have to just take time. The time's very fast, right? It's the 2015 almost finished. 3 more months, right? Wow. Therefore, summer's finished, now fall's coming, then winter, then again next year, the 2016. Therefore, time and age doesn't wait for us. Therefore, when we also getting more old, then also our memory also will more and more go down. Then that time, if you say, I'm going to practice study, this doesn't work. Maybe when after retirement, maybe we have more time, but that time also maybe we have our memory is not very strong. Therefore, any time, some daily prayers, daily practice, daily study is very important. Also, sometimes people say, oh, I already studied that, then I don't need like, again. Like, this is, I think, big mistake. Like His Holiness Dalai Lama, he study all the time. When he have time, he read books. He already know a lot of things, right? Yeah. But still he study all the time. Whenever he go to traveling, also he have book with him to study. Like that for us, we do study 2 hours. It's not enough, therefore, try to study. Of course, meditation is good, but the meditation also not much change our mind. Study, then thinking, then change our mind. I'm not saying meditation is not good, but meditation is good, but I think study is more important. Therefore, they say, to be timing to me chop.
So, like it says, the study is the best of the lamp, that dispels the darkness of ignorance.
Right? In the house or in some corner, the darkness, we need to, they become light, how you say? Okay. See? Only makes light. No one can make. Only light makes make, we can see, right? There's nothing, any other technique. Only light makes the door go dark, go away. Therefore, our ignorance, only the method of, knowing, right?
Yeah.
That was annoying. Big mistake. Right? Therefore, knowledge is very important. Therefore, Samuel Tamshu translated that text say, also, it is also best of wealth. No one can steal. Whenever you go, you can take. It's not heavy. Even you are a very rich guy, you also very little scared. Say, oh, someone steal me. Or maybe someone come to kill me. Then you have something, also you have to, I want to keep here. I want to put some place else. Maybe one day you need, you don't find. Therefore, the study is always come with us, very important. Okay? This is not just say, oh, I already studied that, I already read that. Of course I will read that. His Holiness said one time, the Shanideva text, he read all the time like this. I think he studied this. Guide to Sadaway. He said, if you read 9 times, you can understand 9 different. Then we say, wow, they change all the time there? That doesn't change. The meaning is the same, but you study more, you understand more deep. Therefore, not just say, okay, I already studied that part, just leave that. Not. Usually Westerns also, they say, oh, I read 10 books, then just leave that. Like they don't read again. But we in monastery, we have to read again and again, every time we get to bed again and again. I think there's maybe some reason. Therefore, my main point is, don't leave, I already study that, or I already do the lam-rim today. Don't just leave that. So read again, think again, and you can debate yourself. How about that? It's work. Right? Therefore, it's very important. And you understand, or you have something, your mind accept like that, then you really change your mind. If you heard all the time that your mind doesn't really accept, there not much change. If you are like some emotion, really your mind, oh yeah, that's really true. Then it's easy to change our mind. Therefore, like try that, right? Like last week, maybe just maybe you already know the Pope benefit for Pope friends. He came to the Washington D.C. The speaker changed his mind. He said, "I'm not working anymore." This, you know the speaker. How is it? Banner. John Banner. He said, "I'm not anymore speaker there." You say he has a very strong. I don't know. Maybe he's some emotional. Just he cry when he talk. He has very strong emotion during that time. Maybe the different reason. Maybe Bob said we need to honest, we need to be nice, we need to be be nice or be honest or things. Then of course if you are the politics, not honest. If you try, whoever wants, then you politics you cannot like but like that, like if you ready your mind, like accept something, it's very easy to change. Therefore, very holy man, the Pope, I think really, because Buddha said, what the benefit? I will come manifest to anything. Maybe also he manifests Buddha. Whatever he said, whatever he do, like it's very perfect. Therefore, we are very fortunate. Fortunate? We have a lot of great leaders. But leaders have a lot of hard working then. Students very lazy. Anyway, therefore, the purpose I have talked this is study is very important. If you study your mind really, like that, then they can make change. Others always say, Buddha said that we have to listen. Something kids doesn't want to make homework. The parents push the kids doesn't do it very well, right? The kids, their own mind, they want to do that, they do perfectly. Therefore, not someone always push. Therefore, study all the time, anytime, it's very important. Therefore, all of us, all beings, if religion, non-religion, or human being, non-human being, doesn't matter. All beings, same as us, to free from all the problems, same as us, or achieve all their all goals. But the wish doesn't bring all things. The good activity or bad activity, they all come from cause condition. Therefore, bad activity, the bad activities come from cause non-virtuous actions. Then Buddha combines all the non-virtuous actions to 10 non-virtuous. Therefore, 10 non-virtuous, when we talk, very easy to understand. Oh yeah, 10 non-virtuous, I know that. But we need to more deep. How we create the 10 non-virtuous action? How they can bring the problems? Even we don't think about future life. We do action, 10 non-virtuous action, this life, they bring the result next life. Not think about like that. Even this life. If this day or the moment now, if I do any kind 10 non-virtuous action, then at the moment after what they bring the problems. Okay? If you think, debate yourself is very important, okay? Therefore, already talk about 10 non-virtuous a couple of weeks ago. We already talk the theory of the body, right? Yeah. Now we're going to our mouth. 어떤지 다다 가상한도 마기와 주나니 아니 레지 마기와 좀 당나도 춘천 바래 했어.
So out of 10 non-virtuous actions, we have already discussed about the 3 that were created they are created through our body.
대다 간도 뇽모마 제가 다 먹게와 쩌단 제딩 이제 차들도 먹게와 지기 아시안스가 남은.
So most of the non-virtuous actions are all related to these 10 non-virtuous actions.
예, 근데다 간도 먹게와 좀 무엇이는 맞지바도 게와 쩌스라 바레스.
And so understanding the 10 non-virtuous actions and restraining from oneself from creating those 10 non-virtuous actions is engaging in the 10 virtuous actions.
그러와 대다 다 가상가도 리지메게 왔으면 좋다인 바스.
So we have already talked about the 3 non-virtuous actions created through our body, right?
대다 텐디 리지메게 왔으면 뭐 가르기 샤와 셴나 라곰 젤라지 네카곰 단디자오 마옹바 들라지 마데와 아기 동아적이 와도 대 맞제스라 바레스.
And so if we engage in any of the 3 non-virtuous actions created through our body, then that will bring a bad or suffering result to oneself or to others at the present or in the future. So therefore we're advised not to engage in any of the 3 non-virtuous actions created through our body.
아니 딱 대리가도 마음밖에 와서는 가서다 준대 납타인 바스
And
납타인.
then next is the 4 non-virtuous actions created through our speech. And out of 4, we have already talked about the first one, which is lying. And today we're going to start from the divisive speech.
와 대다 마유 춘주되듯이 하는데 그래 전부듯이 해 말해서.
You can tell small lies, but should not tell big lies.
오케이. 어디 당한도 저와 참아서야 돼. 아니 참아서야 돼. 다 좋은 덤바님 문덤바. 문덤바는 대다 림보체 같은데 이게 아니 내가지는 참말라 그래서 와.
So the divisive speech is saying something that will make people, 2 people, separated if they are together. If they are, if they get along with each other, then you make them not get along with each other. And if they don't get along with each other, you make them even more, you create even more distance between them. And so the kind of saying a word that will, create such kind of thing, among the others, will become a divisive speech.
대다 다들이 쇼로 삽징가와 두파 덤바는 냠도 줄록 쇼스라와.
So now let's read this outline 221, 222, and 223.
오케이.
The basis can be either people who get along or those who do not. The recognition should be unmistaken. The motive is wanting to cause division. The delusion is one of the 3 poisons. The deed is as follows. You wish to divide people who get along or to prevent a reconciliation between those who do not. It makes no difference if your divisive speech is the truth or lies. Some people consider doing these things to be good. Not only is it not, divisive speech causes great harm and so can't be right. The final step is when people understand the meaning of your words, and the karma is complete when the divisive words have been spoken and the other person has understood and split off in opposition. If the words were not understood and the opposed parties did not divide, or whatever, this become idle speech and not divisive speech. A basis for the harsh words. The basis of harsh word could be either sentient beings that serves as the basis for the development of harmful intention, or an inanimate object such as a thorn. A recognition should be unmistaken. The delusion is one of the 3 poisons. The motive is wanting to say such words, and the deed is speaking about faults in another person's ethics, race, body, and so on. You could tell the truth or lies. For example, you could say, you are blind, to either a blind person or to someone not blind. When you talk about faults in the person's race, body, and so forth, even if you say it pleasantly, you have committed the misuse of harsh words if the other person's feelings are hurt. The final step is when the meaning of the word is understood, the word must be understood. The karmic process is therefore incomplete if you say them to inanimate objects. Idle gossip. The basis is something frivolous, The recognition is recognizing that whatever it is you want to talk about is this or that thing. The actual basis of kind of gossiping may be anything at all, anything that enters the conversation by virtue of the recall, and that is made out to paramount. The motive is wanting to talk. The delusion is of the three poisons, that it is talking about the king, the army, or whatever. These days, we monks discuss a range of topics, the government, China, India, and so on. When a large group of us gets together in the monastery grounds or go circumambulating, this is idle gossip. Idle gossip is the least of the 10 non-virtues. It's the best way to waste our human life. The evil of idle gossip, the devils. Even the sittings rows of public religious ceremonies, and monks regularly get together in their rooms and spend the whole day making such frivolous conversation, and the time is frittered away in idleness. A teacher said, when in company, check your speech. In other words, you must be careful even if you are with only one friend. Stories and discussions in our non-Buddhist treatise are idle gossip. Although you can get other people to do 6 of the non-virtues of the body, speech, except for the sexual misconduct, you yourself are also involved in the karmic process.
Okay, good. Now all you understand? Dojo ane takaro ane trauma shitati ane jetran tamba mantama tenishirandu tan dishi matwa go yes.
And so, like it says in the text, the basis can be either people who get along or those who do not, right? And it said the recognition should be unmistaken.
아니 그놈도 다 신도요 바시리 아니 니모도 그놈 와인 바지.
And the motive, is wanting to cause division in other people, and the delusion is one of the 3 poisons.
And 다 라차로 갔나 아니 저한테 얘는 텀바 단 텀바 좀 보이는데 바만 텀바 찍게 자로 바 주지 만다바도 다 림보지 받는 거 그래서.
And so the action is, causing people to, not get along, if not get along, or if they get along, then cause them to be divided, cause even more distance in between them.
어떤지 다 던지 다 너와 얘네니까 같이 미카제들 요스로 와페나 소소 미상태를 좀 막아봐 괜찮은데 전에 미상태 도시 당야다. 소소데 메테니라 막아봐 괜찮은데 전에 메테니 양바 조금 많이 봐. 지금 두바자쇼 같은데 내가 지금 뭐 요랬어.
So there are people who don't like the other families, and then they say different things, bad things about each other, and make them not become friends, right, or become enemies and so forth, or even in a personal, one-to-one basis. If you don't like those 2 people getting along, and you're jealous and so forth, and then you tell them bad thing about each other and make them become the enemies or not get along. So it is, in a way, deceiving the other person, right? Are there people who do these kind of things in this country?
Yes, no? Oh, good. 근데 자 삼성 모두들이 용도 소소데 미 파초와더니 따완 만다바 진데체네 미코니 시당 따완도 뭐야 보이나야 대니 만다만 만도서 계제 시당 지금 남기도 나시는 용도와.
So because you don't like that person, right, or you don't get along, in terms of the view and so forth, but those 2 people, they get along, and you don't like that, and that therefore you want them to be not liking each other.
아니 제가 남이라고 있나야 미디 미카제야 남이 도식 당하더라도 인 초가라게 지시 제미디 그쪽 제미게 지나치지 정도데 아니 초가 제미니 알레 그 계자 문이나 담바치네 진 다지 맞아 거는 전에 쇼를 받는 용도 이었어.
And then some people also wants to destroy the family, or not make them not get along, and so you go and speak to the husband bad thing about the wife, and go to speak to the wife bad thing about the husband, and then make them become make them to fight with each other, not get along, and then destroy the family.
그래서 근데 어떤데 뭐뭐요 식당에 산지 좀 되어서 세제 다외 세제는 가리 이만은 따지고 채고를 손을 때 뺏는 것이 그래도 무슨 사람 따지지는 맞지와지 지기지기라는데 연발해서 대 샤와다는 중에 배 고정 속도.
So just like Buddha said to examine his teaching, just like you would examine the gold by rubbing, cutting, burning, and so forth. So it's important to check on everything, not believing just on a mere word, but checking it thoroughly whether it's true or not is very important.
그래. 근데 얘자 간지 소소 다 쪼간나 소소 된지기 지 참아 아니 시에네 아니 지금 담방 만담아 다 저런 거죠. 된지기 이제도 만들어 계셔와 계시 모셔라레스.
So anyway, this is one of the non-virtuous action, right? The divisive speech or slander, and it is our duty, to make sure that we don't engage in that kind of action. So, which would be like saying something to cause two people to be divided if they are good friends, and to get even more distance, if they are not friends.
그리고 아니 가시가 참아 야보를 일당해서 대야보 말해서 아니 다 좀 첨보를 해서 손도 왔어.
Some people say divisive speech is good, but it's not good, and there are many faults, of engaging in this divisive speech.
간지 시당 끊어대 안되고 끊는 랑라치 야무나 랑 막가봐 야무나 랑 켜사라야. 근데 간지 소수 안되고 이제 삼에 끊는 안에 아니 니 파초발라 근데 람나대 자는 거래서.
And so mostly it's because of one's own selfishness, right? Wanting just because I don't want, I don't like it, and so forth, and I don't have it, I'm jealous about it. Then because of that, then we engage in those kind of speech, right?
근데 파초발이시나 파초 투디 때 코네 아니 샤발란 주선나 아니 다디 레기 샤바도 통로 그래서.
So when you have said that, and then other person understood the word, right? Understood the word, and engage in the action of becoming separated from each other, then you have completed the act, of the divisive speech.
아니 근데 시와지 파초 대 마거나 카타만 오해서 말아봤어.
So even if you said it, the other person don't understand it, or didn't engage in action, then of being separated from each other, then that action of divisive speech will not become complete.
Okay. 간증 아주 깨져시다가 따니 아니 먹여와 제가 남자다 샤워 마렵길래 같은데 애들이 연구를 때 맞지 해서 봐.
So just by speaking such kind of things, it can become non-virtuous actions. It is important to understand that and to make sure not to engage in those kind of actions.
Okay. 어디지 다 되면 뭐 뭐저렇게 되면 다 그봐. 내 응강쳐서 말 참아 들어봐. 다 특수된다. 특수해야 돼. 다 지금 나슴 기위 간지 그노디 나슴 기위 이제 sem신들이 시사대 sem신 거 그래서 다 힌두라 원도 되네 시대나 마우신은 고고 말되면 또 말지. 시사대 봐줘.
And so the next one is the harsh word, right? So saying the bad words, a harsh word. When you say that, other person who hears will be hurt. Who hears their feelings will be hurt. So that kind of word is called harsh word. And the basis for saying such word has to be a sentient being. So you can't just say something bad to inanimate object because they don't have a feeling, so their feelings will not be hurt.
아니 너시 말하는데 너시 말하다 바지 소소라 자주가 소소 뇽바로 많이 그래 바지 자주더라. 뇽바로는 가도 미가 나한테 그 뇽밖에 잘해서 장주체가 말아와서.
And it says that recognition has to be unmistaken, right? So the person who hears that should understand that, right? So should feel the bad, right? So if somebody is not in a stable and not in a correct mental state, then that person doesn't understand. So it doesn't care. Whatever you say doesn't matter, right? So then it doesn't become a harsh word.
어떤데다 간지 투투보 매 봐줘라야지 투두자들 나와 투두자들 배치 땅야. 매 봐줘 섬나 포야기 계시들이 시나 다 특성으로 때 맛이 해서로.
And so anyway, whatever words that you use, to say something to somebody, and that hurts their feeling, then that becomes harsh words. So don't use those words that causes bad feeling to others.
아니 때는 얘기나 텍스메리잖아. 특두자들 지마샤스.
And also don't use harsh word in the text lesson.
간제 다 가리기 노고 말생각도 질라요 왔어. 다 사실은 가리지는 노고 가리기 노고 말생각 땅아도 된 삼수대 깔에 가오래서 나 소소라 빼샤 소소라 가리기 내고도 근데 소소라 내기 잘한테 미샬아야 소소문에 대 밤마치에서다 야보이 꼭 가서라 왔어.
So we should always think about the things towards ourselves. And so anything that is said or done to us, if we will not like it, then we should not do or say that thing to others.
나 양한테 괜찮아서 그나 너도 파이 너도 나의 제가 롱바로 왜나 소소 지금 밤마로 남이로 지금 동사이나 되게 민지 좀 말해서 보고다 빈자던 걸 지좀 주나 빼면서 공로사 두셔되게 돼서 야 자가 다산도 왜나 지금 바와마 시가져서는 솔래야 점점 때문에야 아니 가서 지기 와서 버리니 와서 보면 버려서요 라고 그냥 고속히 녹음 말했어 자꾸 근데 사실 내리람난데 너 다시 녹음 말 생각도 돼서 갈까 온도 와서
So then again, we have to understand what makes it harsh word, right? To some people it might not be harsh word, but to other people it might be harsh word. Harsh words, like I said, it's not necessary to say something vulgar, bad, at that moment. But even if you say something that hurts their feeling, it can be a harsh word. And like depending on the tradition, culture, harsh word in this culture can be nothing on other culture. Or like in Tibet, people will not mention the name of the deceased people, right? So if your father died in Tibet, and then somebody says the name of your father to you, then it will become offensive. So then it will hurt your feeling, and then people go like very sad, unhappy. So you should not say that. But like in India, when they say, oh, he's a boy of such and such man, who died, they don't mind. So for them it's okay. So that doesn't become harsh word, So also, it is important to understand that and not use it. But again, if you are not familiar with all these cultural things, then it's difficult to understand.
Right. 다시 한번 배워야 되나. 나도 다 단대 배워하고 매 시당 배워 전달라 미절라 제가 잡아들었나. 너가 말했어.
And then other
배워나 근데 자원도 자파는 왔다. 자와도 미드선 전부도 자판도 없고 야르지 그랬어.
So then in other culture, like if you say somebody like in Tibet, if you say, oh, you're fat, then that's a compliment. So that means you are very fortunate, you have plenty of food to eat, and so forth, and you are very healthy, strong. So you're fat means good. But here it will be offensive, right?
Right. Therefore, we have to also understand the different cultures, right? Like then when we say in monastery in Tibetan, at that time not monk, but the monks are very fat. They say, wow, he's very like great monk. And someone very skinny, they say, oh, like he's like grow
Like a hungry ghost.
Yeah, like,
Not enough to eat.
Yeah, not enough to eat. There's something wrong. But here, how much is skin? They say, oh, you're very healthy. Like. Anyway, therefore, Dina Lamdi was, and think the Demba Ibana, Pajola Newaina, and a Lapcho Mars, Pajin Day, some we call Paje, and the Dangado, the land was. Konhun Mandapat, Joanna, Mi Sharala Shara Jopayana, and Shara Mambala, Shara Savatawa, Tawa, and Zama Maris, Zama Mayana, Demba Ibanaya, the meeting Supo, Tutum, Liti.
So the motive or the thought, is wanting to say that, right? You have to have the thought wanting to say that, and then you have to say the thing. So it doesn't matter whether the thing that you said is true or not. It doesn't have to be false, to make it harsh word. It can be still true, right? Somebody who is fat, if you call them fat, they will not like it. That will hurt their feelings. So even though that's true. And just like that, if somebody is blind and you call that person, hey, you blind person, if you say that, then it will still hurt. Even though it's true that they are blind, just like it said in the text, if you say that and that word hurts them, then that becomes harsh word.
아니, 님마 산지 샤슈 내가라야 아니 and the trawa, that trawa and makaji michi. Karo. Karo, chit thing there. Pemitsu, so what my shivacha, getting to this nodashon, and cross the twitch in the pa. So what the new the pa mewachi Kalaya, Chigia, and then Jimmy to what ma. Shivakanji, Tawakanga, Jimmy, lovers. Till I went over and then Kona Chiwang object, Jimmy, Chivalang Jones, Kunyuda.
Several go to him.
Okay, the one story that I don't really we don't remember. Then anyway, the kanji susu magasa jilaya. Then titing on the young machine, young pesas. Mid the susu chill gagmena, mid chindo odilana, tin revit susu chill at the chair by the left sound of it. Like those. So chill magangina.
So I don't remember the story exactly. It happened during the time of Buddha. And somebody said something about other beings or monks, there, and then a dog or something like that, and then he created a karma to be born as a dog for 500 lifetimes. So it's just like that, So if you say something, it's like, hey, you look like a dog, to somebody out of ill will, bad thought, and then that becomes, a cause. Then you have created a cause to be born as a dog for 500 lifetimes.
That's Shedang Nando Chiduja Lago Maravat. Midi Koran, Lamidi Chidi Yabume, Koran Magasam, Koran members at Tenisa in the Korangi Koyabum the Garden, no rest lavender, Tiko de Kenomano, Chidu Mikija Maratro, Chidu Ducha Mikija Mare.
So, of course, in general, we consider the life of the dog, inferior to the human life, right? But not necessarily bad, not necessarily bad. But so anyway, so the person who says that has to have that feeling, thinking that that's a bad. So like it doesn't matter whether it's a dog or like a woman or man or whatever you say to that person. To women, if you say you look like a man, and that will become offensive, right? So like that. So anyway, so if you say that, whatever word that you say, you have to feel that's bad. And then you say with that bad feeling to that person.
Right? Example, if you don't like big, I don't say fat, okay? Just big. If you know someone doesn't like big, they say, oh, he's very bad or like very big or something, then there will be cause. If you don't like very skinny, then he say, oh, he's very bad, like skinny like goat, call.
So if you call someone, you look like a hungry ghost. You're very skinny and you look like a hungry ghost. Then you create a cause, to be born as a hungry ghost yourself.
And the parent and was Paruba Semla Nuni, Yambamba to the Mavindoris. Paruba Semla Nuna, so the thing Nijola Lavana goes to Channel.
So if that hurts the feeling of other person, then even if you say a pleasant word, then that becomes harsh word. So it's very difficult, to distinguish between what is the what kind of word will hurt them or not hurt them, right? Because to you it might be a good word and pleasant word, but to others it may be offensive. And so it is very important, to be skillful, every time when we engage in activities such as using the words.
But this country, the people are very skillful. They talk, right? They know how you make other people feel better. Even example, another person may be 50 or maybe 70 years old. We really know that. But he looks too young, about like 40 years. They don't say you look old, 70. If you know the person's age is over there, but you don't say, wow, you look good, you look healthy, very young, like 40 years, 30 years. They really know that, but they don't want to make other people feel bad. Like this, like that kind, anything, that the motivation is not maybe I get something benefit, therefore I will talk about them nicely. But if you don't want to hurt others' mind, also we know how you people make happy, right? Therefore, some people told me, oh, you look like 20 years old. He said, no, I'm 45 years old. Really? You look 20s. Like, this is a different culture. Like the Tibetan culture, they don't matter how old you, but then also, the age doesn't matter. They feel, but also like here, they make feel. Then you have to be very careful talk. If you say some Tibetans, you are very old, look like very old. You look 70 years, 60 years old. They don't care. When we say someone, oh, you look 60 years old, they feel. If you really understand reality, nothing to say, nothing to feel bad. You're really there. But here the people feel, I don't know how they feel bad like that. Therefore they become like harsh word. Therefore, we need to always
praise them.
Praise like that. But anyway, very important too, whenever we talk, before you talk, it's good, check our motivation. Don't know what I'm going to say. Therefore, like this kind, even if you hurt others' mind, even you try to nice word, but it become harsh word because they hurt others' mind. 다두데다 땡거래서 아니 다두데다 봐줘야돼 다 지가로 대다 그거로 고생만 내와다 아니 대도 거네 고생만 내와서 막거나 거네 말아서.
So anyway, the final step is that person has to understand, right? So when it hurts their feeling, then they have understood it, right? If they haven't understood it, they will not get hurt, right? And so the final step is when they understood and they get the hurt, then you have completed, the act of the harsh word.
어디지? 아니 내가 돈 고마고다 그러니까 sem친다 sem지고 그래서 봐. 돈 고고라 sem좀 봐서 매전 레마 조세. 진짜 가와들 지랍드나 컴퓨터나 랍드나 아니 렌조 말해서 봐. 고유 말아 건도.
And so like you said, it has to be a sentient being, right? So you cannot say this, to inanimate object. So like if you say something bad to the pillar, or say you stole the computer, something like that, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't become harsh word.
Yes, we can sometimes be complaining our computers. That doesn't work. I want to broken you. They don't mind. If you're broken, you lose your computer. Right? Sometimes right now also this time we can see some YouTube, some videos. Someone do some talk, some doesn't work, or maybe you get angry with someone on the phone, you broke your phone. It doesn't bother them. You lose your phone. I saw this a couple of times, They're yelling at someone on the phone. They're not there. You're yelling on the phone. You get angry at the phone, you just drop that. No, this is people do this. They just, then usually like this is a really thing. That's just baby walk, right? And one time he's holding the talk one story. Then in Lhasa, when he was in Lhasa time, the one Chinese, his friend, he has a very, maybe car was a very, very nice one. One day he get angry, he broken. Then he hit it because he intentionally broke. Brother was a break.
Broke, yeah.
Broke. After he finished the conversation,
when his anger is gone.
Anger gone, he felt very sad. He bring back, try to put back. Like that, right? Yeah. Also maybe it's recently, that one. Sridhar Rinpoche is not tendon. One guy, he come here with his tendon. He's not really tendon, but he can help. One day he and his girlfriend get mad, and then he bought her very good glass because sometimes he go to Western country, then he for person for bought very nice woman's glass, female glass. One day she got get mad for him. Then she broke her glass. Because she get angry after she, anger gone. Then she asked her, "Can you buy one more like that?" Like this is anger. Anger means for everyone to just check everywhere. Therefore, why have to talk that? Hello. Oh yeah. Therefore, if you talk with the computer doesn't matter. But if you broke, you say shake your computer doesn't work. Computer doesn't matter. You lose the computer. Therefore, they say you need to the person, this place. Then that the bang angche de. That angche say de. That tenda me chuto me kishana mroshi de badre. Shidan de ko nibas ke madena. Then degi, and tese mumbo chuto no yores. Yang de la ten yang chik nyora de long yang de yung yores.
So then the next one is idle gossiping, right? So senseless chattering or idle gossiping. So talking about things that you have nothing to do with, right? Whether it's true or not, if it doesn't have anything to do with you, then you should not speak. If it is not bad itself, but that wastes a lot of our times. And of course, the bad thoughts can come out of that also. So you're talking about somebody, and then you see, oh, somebody has this beautiful thing, that beautiful thing, and then attachment may arise in your mind. So that can cause to have bad things happen in you, but that itself is not bad in itself. But it is, it is it can be a cause, but it can be a cause that can give rise to other bad things. And sometimes we talk about the things that has nothing to do with you, but then that can cause you to become angry at somebody and then get into a fight with them and so forth. And so this is a kind of again, it's like it is talking in the text. People gather together, right? So they come together when they're going to the circumambulation. So they meet with each other, and then they carry their mala in their hand. They just count the mala, but then they talk about all the other things. So sometimes you might see also old folks coming here. They have their children, right? Their children, their sons, or daughter-in-laws, and then they talk about each other's. Oh, his son is very good. He makes a lot of money. Or his daughter-in-law is not so good. Doesn't take care of the old folks, and so forth. And so those kinds of things. So they talk all the time like that. So that becomes idle gossiping.
I don't know, maybe Western country maybe not like that. Like that, today the kanje tenda mejogi, any keshamawashana, any tigi magiwa mambo. Pari period no mashes rua. Today the dinas want to watch Georgia, and so chubo in the Kalasum Nalatachi Chores. Sematachi Chores, Mamuji and Nalatachi Chores.
So anyway, so you should not get engaged in the senseless conversations, even though it might be interesting or exciting at that time, but then that can cause a lot of delusions to arise and waste our time. And so therefore, and also like Lama Disha said, when we are alone, always check our mind. But when we are with others, always check our speech. In our speech, we always should control that.
너도 저갑 어디를 두 드리냐잖아. 그래서 많이 말. 그래서 많아. 그저 남라시에는 소소 쇼로 그러고.
So when there is when you are in the legal process, or in the court or somewhere, then you shouldn't speak too much, right? So if you say things that too much things, and then they might bring more things, more problems in you, and then you might lose the case. And so that's why this advice of controlling our speech and when among others, when with many people, it's very, very important. This is advice, given from the time of Buddha, and it's still true.
And so the Chubo Galan Susama Tower, Simon Garis, someone who got a children and want to send a tangle or to take it.
And so when you're alone, then you always should check your mind, because mind goes all over the place when you're alone, right? It's thinking all sorts of things. Do you think all sorts of things when you're alone?
You're not tempted to learn. You always do something. When I go meeting is so the town might be like kind of teach chena. Ticola, so now part of some Mutania, could teach Chemos. Yeah, Gongargayo somebody, yeah, could teach Tangi Cola Lendu, traditional chairs.
So when somebody said something to you, and then you go back home, and then and then you say, oh, this person said this one said that, I didn't like it, and maybe I should do this, I should do that, to retaliate, to this person, and so forth. So we're always like, thinking all sorts of things, and making plan in our mind.
Mix some Ramra tires, some Ramra Tani, some Mambotan Hino de years. Among other Chile was Michi Shinkaya Boch and Shinkaya Boche, Tig Shinka, Ned Koran Gola, Gotela Gala, Tabakan, Sha. Any combos and Tanga Shinkaya was near Sharandus. The net parts on it, Namaji, Telepoji, Port Le Mille, Dawa, Dagas Mitawa, come the Dawa Tongas house. Daga Taudos, or the song is will any Tabache, Koshis Morris.
So we have all these sorts of thoughts, and then we end up dead. Anyway, so that's a story about this man who worked in the field, right? So he had a grain, collected a grain, like a barley or some kind of grain, in a sack, and then he tied it on top, on the ceiling, right? So then the mouse or rats would not get to it and will be protected. So they tie it in the ceiling. So and then he was lying on the floor and then looking at the grain, and then he just had all these sorts of thought about it. And says, oh, this time I had a very good grain, and maybe next time I'm going to grow more, and then I will have more grains, and then I'll make some money, and then maybe I'll get married, and then I will have a son. I will name him a Moon, because he saw the moon through his window. So he said, I will name him Moon, and so forth. And then suddenly the rope broke, and the sack fell on his head, and he died. So he died with all those sorts of thoughts. And we plan so many things, and before we can complete all those plans, we end up dying, right? So without completing all those things that we wanted to do. So anyway, we have to understand what is a good thought and what's bad thought, and especially what kind of thought give rise to delusions or not. So and understanding that, then we should not meditate on all those thoughts that give rise to delusions.
Any Kadina Chisozo Milake Shewa Namjidana, can't talk to one to Jasha Jab, Pajola, never managing on the gentleman. Suzu Kono Namataba can't be checked,
So, so whatever we do or say, it's not possible for us to be 100% sure they do not cause harm to others, right? I mean, directly or indirectly, it might cause harm to others. But what is important is for us to have good motive.
And so, Kuno Yabojewana, any Pajola Kaze, Neswayana. It's some Roma and the Mago and Royal Maris, and a Kono Shendo by Yamba, and a new mother can know the tongue on the bus. The Matamaji, Suzu Tamanam Chinichi, and a Pajoa Chicaro, Magawachana, the Magawachan Roma doors.
So as long as we have a good motive, then we are pretty safe, right? So we don't end up creating non-virtuous action. Like it says here, the motive has to be the wanting to do that. So even if you didn't want to hurt other person's feeling, right? If you first you have to have that motive, the thought, wanting to hurt their feeling, and then with that, then you will use the harsh word, and then it becomes very harsh. But if you didn't have that motive, and then you say something without knowing that that is a bad word for them in their culture and so forth. You said that, then it doesn't matter. So it doesn't become a non-virtuous action because the motive is not there. And so therefore, everything that we do with our body or mouth doesn't become non-virtuous actions. And so, if you don't understand, then then you feel like everything I do or say, becomes non-virtuous action. Then it becomes scary. Then you will not, dare to speak or do anything. Then it's not good, right? Again, you have to understand. And so you should not always, scare people, by saying, oh, you should not do this, you should not do that, and so forth. If you do this, you will be born in hell. If you don't do this, you will be born in a hungry ghost, and so forth. If you think like that, scare them, then it becomes like a scaring. The teaching Dharma becomes like a scaring other people. And so His Holiness used to tell this story of this lama, who had an attendant, and somebody came to see the lama, and then the attendant said, oh, the lama is not here. And they said, where did he go? He said, the attendant said he went to scare the old folks. Means like he went to teach Dharma, but like becoming, he said he went to scare the old folks. So we don't have to be scared, of all these things and things that we do, because like it says here, it has to have a motive, right? If you don't have that, then everything that you speak or do with your body doesn't become non-virtuous action. And of course, then if we know, anything that we do or say can become virtuous action. And then if we know, even that eating a spoonful of food can become a virtuous action. It can become a virtuous action of making offerings to the three jewels, or practicing generosity to the animals, hungry ghosts, and so forth. And then also, whenever you go to work, don't think that the work that you're doing is just to earn money for yourself, but rather think it's for the benefit of others. Then it becomes a good act also. And it's not mistaken to think like that, It's not wrong to think like that. It is true, that you are benefiting others, right? I mean, by doing the work, you help the employer, right? To have somebody to do their work, right? So you're helping them. And then also by doing the things, for them, then it becomes, even though you're getting money from them, but then you are doing this work for them, and they get somebody to do this work for them, right? And other people, the buyers and so forth. So because you're doing this, the sales job, therefore they're able to buy. If you're not there, then they will not be able to buy, right? And so therefore, in any way you do, it can benefit others, even though there are things for yourself, but it can benefit. So therefore, you think about those benefits and then say, oh, I'm doing this work for the benefit of others. Then it really becomes good work. And especially all of you here who are working for the center, you are all volunteers, right? And if you do with a good motivation, then it is really true that it's going to be very beneficial for others. Not only in this generation, but for many generations, for hundreds and thousands and millions of people. It will be beneficial.
그래서 나 먼저 내려야 룸바들이야 룸바 사전 내려야 아니 지 간지 미 강가라야 지 간지 로종 레사지 아니 소소 지금 너와나지 로종 제사정만 간지 미 강가 레와점의 용사지 아니 되게 되는 이차한데 강가 몽골 펜토요 들어와.
So because it is a place that people come with a hope to learn, to study, to practice, to gain happiness and to be free from suffering and so forth. So therefore, definitely, whatever you do here will become beneficial.
그래서 대용은 너도 제사대 사스 반으로 오지. 여보리 고고를 텐데나 내가 지금 뭐 보고 그래. 아니 간호 징에서나 배시라 야보시라 레스 도지 체스.
And so therefore, we always need people to work for the center, and there are so many people who really work hard. I would like to thank all of them for that.
Okay. 대시 텐데다. 다 몸을 빠르시면 나도 데리 빠지는 담자오면 안에 좀더 들어가는 들어가시지.
And so maybe we'll stop here for today, and then if you have any questions, then maybe we can do some question answers.
Yes.
It's about the harsh words. When someone speaks to you, and what they say really hurts. But it again is from their side. If they don't have the motivation to really hurt you, it's not a harsh word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't say no.
They say, even also if you have the motivation, if that doesn't hurt others' mind, it also doesn't come to nourishing work. They were both sides, right? But you just go to what's the high court to all up. 나 미치라 저랑 고쳐 모들라나 봐줘 온다고면은 아니 그것도 녹여서 말아와서 거기 그런 거다 있지 못하네 고쳐 모들을 납잖아 야뭐 가지 되게 녹여나 근데 소소야 지금 코로나서네 밑에 지금 두 잘라 같이 저랑 고쳐 모들을 납잖아요 고내로 들어가서
그래서 미국 때서 사기하다 그
때도
자동 조교 말은
조교 말만 때도 사기나 다 조교 말세 레도 조교 말 때도 사기로 왔어.
So again you have to understand when we say final step. Right? Final step, the complete. Where it says the action is completed and it's not completed. We talk about that, right? So in this case, it is non-versus action. It's not non-versus action at all. It's not non-versus action. It is non-versus action, but it's not a complete non-versus action of harsh word. See, because you had that thought, bad thought, because you hurt that person, even though your motive was not that, but that still was bad, that hurt the person, yeah? So then what kind of action is that? Is that a good action or bad? It is action, right? And what kind of action was it? It was bad action, even though you didn't have the motive. So it's not as bad as having bad motive, but it's still bad. So and when you have all these steps complete, then it becomes a complete act, and that can be really bad result. That can be a really bad result. And otherwise, even if you don't have all those complete steps, it's still bad, but it's not as bad.
미 봐줘 그런 걸 오면 저랑 쓰면 넣어야나 그 저랑 쓰면 넣어야나 그미 봐줘 내 뒤에서 와나 그 대판 녹여로 왔어. 나도
So
특성도 작은 말했어.
So if you don't have 직접 작은 직접 저거 말았어.
저반도 작은 말했어.
그래. So if you like your question, even if that person didn't have the thought, but if it hurt you, then he did create some negative karma. It was not a complete negative karma of harsh word, but it did create negative karma.
Okay. Yes.
The same way, yelling at your computer, your car, okay. Not negative karma of harsh words, but negative karma of anger.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Don't complain your car, okay?
Don't complain your car.
Your car talks back.
It's computerized,
okay.
right?
Okay, yeah.
I just wanted to clarify something in my head. On the divisive speech and insulting words, there's this sentence that's the same in there.
the recognition should be unmistakable. Is that recognition on the part of the person doing the divisive speech as well as the person who's hearing it? It has to be recognized, because you said that if you make a harsh word, this is my understanding, if you say a harsh word to someone, but they don't recognize it that way, then they're not recognizing it, but you might. So does the recognition have to be on both parties? Is that
Did do she matobadi nijano gorege jigde juno chora so mate 가선 다 저랑 미션 다 미치겠다 네 콜로나 바죠 가서면 도 시죠 나야 파저디 강아 단너 바 대성라면 두셔면은 그래 그 두시 막고 책 몰았어 두시 말고서 니자로 거기 조실이 찍볼랜디 그래
저 담보 계제 생기들 도 와서 니 맞춰 와서 돼 이나 파조라 코 내가 매와 있나 그런 데 그거 이거는 파조 누구 매와 있나 아니 그 가서 저도 좀 맞춰 말했어.
So the recognition has to be unmistaken. When he says that, it's mainly applying to the person who is creating the karma, not the person who is receiving, but the person who is mainly saying, of course, even if you have that recognition, but if the person doesn't have that, doesn't matter. So as long as the person understands and then feels bad, then you have created the complete non-virtuous action of a harsh word.
그런 대신 저되게 뇽바로 지금 가도 질라도는 야리치는 가도 코노상마다 야다 그 뇽바로에서 미간게 그 자샤도 왔어.
So if somebody unstable, right, mentally unstable, or crazy person says something to us, we don't get that angry. If somebody a person with a proper mind says something, then we get angry. So how could he say that? But if somebody who's insane, crazy, says that, then we don't get. So that's just him.
That person doesn't recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's coming from, the unmistaken part has to be from the person who's
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Lennon.
If someone is through their speech kind of keeping you from either going to class or going to reading Dharma or whatever, or not participating in the Dharma, oh, don't do that, we'll do this, or you shouldn't do that. Is that considered divisive speech, or is that wrong view?
다대 디바드 스피치 개만은 다코 개와치와 테스코 바치로로 이루었어.
Well, that's a non-virtuous friend, right? So who is leading you on a wrong path, or who's causing you not to engage in the positive action. It's like that. So it's not a really divisive speech. Divisive speech has to be like somebody, two people, right? Two good friends, you make them become not friend, or those who are not friends, then you cause even more distance between them. So it has to be two people there to create a divisive speech.
이나 텐데 청년한테 사업적으로 있네요. 소수고 주치와 지대진에 버줘와요. 그리고 세번 마대버더니 전화요. 고야 보셔야 이거 말드린다. 사업적이고 계신 분이세요.
So you have to play a skillful means there. When somebody says that, it says, "Oh, how can you be so bad? You couldn't. How could you say those things? Making me turn away from the Dharma. How can you say things that makes me turn away from Dharma?" Like that. We should not say that. Of course, it's doing that, but should not say that. So it's oh yeah, thank you for offering, to go there and there, but I have something more important, or something that I have already committed, to do, so I have to do that, and so forth. Like, play a skillful means, to not offend the other person also.
Okay? 다 가리나 간지. 그리고 다 삼마당 개발체도 계시 뭐 쇼에 들어가서 가기나.
So anyway, being very skillful, in the way you think and do is very important also.
근데 사버다 지금 미 바줘봐도 죽게 밀랭이지 받는 뒤들어야 양주 어떻게 해야 되나 또 야고시는 말했어.
And also, if the person doesn't accept the Dharma, then also it's not good, not very skillful to force them, to practice Dharma or study Dharma.
그래서 가서나 와다다 또 진짜 못 보여서 간지 딱 가디나 네 삽섭지로 봐. 아니 다 소소 따원트 보는 개요 말을 같이 된 얘기로 와서 따원 문제도 좀 바로 앞에 삽섭지한테 기침 보냈어.
So it's very important, to be careful or conscientious
If you get along in terms of the view, then it's okay. But if the view doesn't get along, then it's very important to be conscientious.
아니 계시다니까 남바이나데 집안에 고시라 직체와에 말다이나 다 남바 마잉이라고 들으시 바래나 섭섭지고 그래.
And so if you're talking within the Buddhist community, then it's okay. You can talk about those things. But when you're not, when you're talking among those who are not Buddhist, then it is important to be careful of what you say. Even though it's a good thing, but it may become offensive to them.
Okay. Therefore, Buddha is very skillful, very important. Okay, like that. Then we finish. Then that thing also.
And so today we're going to play some games, right, to win some prizes.
아니 단다 아니 다 라포트가 용의 바나리 디고 내가 지금 자상하게 추소라나 다들 삼노다는 책이 오래돼 용의도 되는 만중원에 삼다가 제가 있나요. 아니 고 년박시대 용의로 삼는 것도 되게 고아들 내기면서 추소라 가로다 현대랑 되게 제대로 요거다 만중 년박 춘주시 줘도 소요했어요.
So anyway, that was just a joke, right? We're not really buying the raffle ticket in order to win the prize. People who buy also know that we're buying that to help the center, not just not to win the prize, but to help the center. And then center also knows that when we receive people buying these things, then we know that the center knows that it's then it's to help the center only, not really to make a big sales and so things like that. So anyway, in return we just put some small prizes, but mainly it's to help the center.
Okay. 그래서 단다 드리지 다다는 이빠지 그러더니 단다 엔엘로 빠치스 줘도 뭐 그래로 빠치거든 제로 나왔어.
And so this is the first draw, right, we're having this time, but also there will be a second draw in later time. And so we still have a lot of time to help. So in any way you can help, please help.
Then he have more information, more talk there, right? Okay? Okay, thank you. Yes.
All right. Oh, 10:30. Okay. Okay, this will be a speed. Oh, no. Okay. All right, turn to page 39 of the Kurukulla prayer book, please. Okay. Saji Perki Zhong Xing Mei Tok Tram Ri Rab Ling Ji Ni De Gen Pa Di Sangye Jing Du Mi Te O Hi Dre Kun Nam Dak Jing La Sho Pa Sho Jesu La Me Ku Se Rab Ten Shin Nam Ka Trin Le Sho Shur Ge Pa Dang Lo Sang Tempe Drome Sab Sum Hidro E Munzel Tatu Ne Gushi Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami For my two collections, vast as space that I have amassed from working with effort at this protectus for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chen Rezig remain in life till samsara's end. Tong ni ning je zung du jum pe lam che che sa ze gang chen ten thru gung chang na pe mo tenzin gyatso la so debzo Page 49. Short, long life prayer for Lamas Opa Rinpoche. Tung tsung chang ding jam gong gelwe tenzin gyom pelwe gunzo dog porze chong tsung kuwele mon tutru pa dag so do je gondu zapten shu. Page 57. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where I'm born arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Page 75, make me say. Igmet sewe te chen chen rezig tui me kempe wang po jam pel yang gang chen kepe sugen Tsongkhapa lop sandra pe Zabla Soade. Thank you, Geshe.
Just quick.
Okay.
Just a quick announcement, reminder tomorrow for Medicine Buddha Puja, which starting at 6 because we need the bonfire. It's a really, Medicine Buddha is like really nice big setup. We cannot unfortunately do it in any other room. Sean's class starts at 7, so we'll start at 6. It is a fairly short puja and they can wait. So we will have the puja at just 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Other than that, we're going to be doing full cleanup after classes, every second class. Watch for the newsletter, will detail whatever dates you need to be at. And then welcome to stay, please. We've got lovely cake, and the festivities will start at 11. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.